Okay, today we are going to completely reframe something you do every single day, taking care of your teeth. I want you to forget about just cleaning. We're going to look at it for what it really is, a strategic daily battle. And to win, you need the right intelligence. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You wake up, run your tongue over your teeth, and they feel, well, fuzzy. Kind of like they grew little sweaters overnight. What if I told you that feeling isn't just a bit of leftover food, but the first sign of an actual invasion? That's right, that fuzzy stuff is a living, breathing, and highly organized community of bacteria. The technical term is a biofilm. And it's not just hanging out, it's actively building a fortress, a microscopic city right on the surface of your teeth. So if we're gonna win this war, we have to understand the enemy. Let's dive into the anatomy of this invasion and reveal what this biofilm, this plaque, really is. You know, what's fascinating is how this all happens. Plaque doesn't just show up all at once. Think about it like a barren field. First, a few weeds pop up, then some shrubs, and before you know it, you've got a whole forest. That is the perfect analogy for what's happening on the surface of your cleaned tooth. It's a systematic takeover. And this invasion isn't random. Oh no. It is a calculated four-stage siege. Let's break down exactly how this enemy fortress gets built, step by step. The whole attack follows a pretty clear timeline. It all kicks off just minutes after you brush, and it escalates over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna see how the enemy lays the groundwork, brings in the first wave of troops, builds its fortifications, and finally creates an impenetrable bunker. Each stage is a new threat, but it's also a new opportunity for us to fight back. Okay, stage one. This begins the instant you finish brushing. Proteins from your own saliva create this super thin film on your teeth called the pellicle. Now, it's supposed to be protective, but the bacteria, they hijack it. It basically becomes the perfect double-sided tape, getting the surface ready for invaders to land and stick. So, within just a few hours, the first wave of invaders arrives. These are the pioneers, like the infamous Streptococcus mutants. They latch onto that sticky pellicle. But here's the crucial part. In these first few hours, their grip is really weak. They can still be knocked off pretty easily. This is a key window of opportunity. Now, if that colony is left alone for a day or more, things get serious. This is the fortification stage. The bacteria multiply like crazy and start producing this sticky, glue-like slime. This stuff creates a protective bunker, shielding them from your immune system and, yeah, even from mouthwash. It also cuts off the oxygen supply, which creates the perfect environment for even nastier, more destructive bacteria to move in. And this brings us to the end game, the point of no return. After about 10 to 14 days, this fortified biofilm starts sucking up minerals from your saliva, like calcium. It hardens, turning into something like concrete. This is calculus, what most people call tartar. And at this point, your toothbrush is completely useless against it. So we've seen how the fortress gets built, but why is it so bad for you? Well, the bacteria inside wage a devastating two-pronged attack on your health. Okay, so the enemy has two main weapons. First up, the acid assault. The bacteria eat the sugar you eat, and their waste product is pure acid. This acid literally dissolves your tooth enamel, which is how you get cavities. The second weapon is infiltration. Your body spots this bacterial fortress at your gum line and treats it like an invasion. It sends in immune cells to fight, and the battlefield becomes inflamed. You see this as red, swollen, bleeding gums. You've probably heard of it, gingivitis. All right, that's the grim part. But the good news is we have a very clear science-based battle plan. So let's get into the tactical protocol for actually winning this war. So where do we even start? First, we have to face a critical intelligence brief. Brushing alone is not enough. It's just not. Your toothbrush, no matter how fancy, can only get to about 60% of your tooth surfaces. That leaves a massive 40%, all the space between your teeth as a perfect safe house for these biofilms to grow. This is why flossing isn't some optional extra. It's how you take the fight to the enemy's hiding spots. So, the single most important part of our strategy is this: mechanical disruption. It's not about trying to sterilize your mouth, it's about physically destroying the structure of that biofilm. Because the bacteria are hiding inside that sticky fortress, you have to physically break it apart. You can't just rinse them away.
And this is the most effective way to do it. It's called the modified Bass technique, and it's designed for maximum disruption. The absolute key is that 45-degree angle, aiming the bristles right into the gum line. That's where the invasion begins. Then you use these gentle, short, vibrating motions to shake the colony loose, and then you sweep it away. Just sawing back and forth aggressively, that doesn't really work. It just damages your gums and misses the most important spots. Now, what about things like toothpaste and mouthwash? Think of them as your support arsenal. Fluoride isn't a bacteria killer. It's more like a defensive shield. It helps rebuild and reinforce the enamel that's been weakened by that acid assault. And antiseptic mouthwash? It's a great secondary weapon, but it's only really effective after you've already smashed the biofilm's protective bunker by brushing and flossing.
And here's a really important warning. Once that plaque hardens into calculus or tartar, the at-home battle is over. You've lost that ground. That stuff is literally bonded to your tooth like cement. Trying to scrape it off yourself with some tool you bought online will absolutely damage your enamel, which just makes it even easier for new plaque to stick. This is a job for the professionals, your dentist or hygienist. They have the right tools, period.
And all of this brings us to the ultimate strategic insight. This isn't a war you win just once. It is a never-ending campaign that you have to win every single day. So let's boil it all down. The wrong strategy is focusing on intensity, brushing super hard once a day. All that does is damage your gums, and it still gives the biofilm a full 24 hours to rebuild and get stronger. The winning strategy is all about consistency. By brushing correctly twice a day, you are constantly disrupting the enemy before they can ever mature and fortify their position. You keep them weak, disorganized, and always on the run. So, in the end, the war for your mouth isn't one with brute force. It's one with smarts and a consistent strategy. The clock is always ticking. The battle literally restarts every 12 hours. So now that you know the rules of engagement, what's your next move?